start this episode, some exciting news for those based in the UK. A museum dedicated to video games is set to open in Nottingham next year. Called the National Videogame Arcade, it will be home to 12,000 pieces of gaming history, displayed across 5 floors. It's due to open in March. Next, a book titled Commodore Amiga, a visual Commpendium, which aims to celebrate the system with a mix of pixel box art and interviews from relevant developers, has been funded on Kickstarter. It comes from the same team behind the book on the Commodore 64, and you can grab a physical copy for £25 by visiting the relevant link in this video's description. Moving on to more mysterious news, a trademark application from Nintendo appears to have been filed for the term Virtual Boy at the European Office for Harmonization in the Internal Market Database. What this means is unclear, but perhaps the Virtual Boy's superlative library of titles will resurface on the 3DS. I'll be sure to keep you posted if there are any further developments on this story. To round things off, it was found that the Super Scope can be used on Lemmings 2: The Tribes on the SNES, some gaming character stamps were released by an Irish postal service, and PlayAsia are taking pre-orders for a range of official Mega Man plushies. To open this section, the 3DS's eShop received ports of NES titles Mighty Final Fight and Gargoyle's Quest 2, as well as the Game Boy's Donkey Kong Land trilogy and Game Boy Color Fish 'em Up Legend of the River King 2. The Wii U, on the other hand, received the NES's Euphoria, The Saga and Devil World, as well as the Game Boy Advance's Namco Museum. The Donkey Kong Country trilogy of SNES titles are available to download on the service too, after being taken away for no definitive reason 2 years ago. Sony systems received just one port, but fortunately it's very much a case of quality over quantity, with cult rhythm action title Vib Ribbon becoming available to download on PS Vita, PS3 and PSP through PSN. Dragon Quest II, Luminaries of the Legendary Line, is now available on Android and iOS devices too. And last up, Secret of Mana has finally been ported over to Android. First is the release of the Atari Lynx TV Out, which as the name suggests adds a VGA port to the handheld, allowing you to play games on the system through your TV. Kits to do it yourself cost $115, but you can have it done by the people at Furtek for $130. Second is that a prototype of the unreleased graphic board, basically a tablet for the Sega Master System, has been found, with the ROM for the add-on software being released for free online. It's pretty pointless without the accompanying board, however. Next, Crix have pretty much announced it's to release an EverDrive flash cartridge for the Game Boy Advance on Twitter. No release date is available at this time though. Talking of to-be-released hardware, you can also register interest for a flash cartridge for the Intellivision, called HIVE, by using the link in this video's description. An SD card iOS loading device is also in the works for the PlayStation, as well as an RGB expansion board for the TurboGrafx-16 and PC Engine. Finally, if you're interested in building a portable N64 yourself, this Kickstarter, which gives you your own kit to do so for $200, might be right up your alley. It looks like it'll make its target of $5,000 too. To start, a couple of NES titles. One a physical cartridge release of Larry and the Long Look for a Luscious Lover, which will set you back $50, and second, Electronic Sweet and Fun Fortune Teller. A ROM of the unreleased Mega Drive version of the Commodore Amiga title Bill's Tomato Game has also been made available to download online for free. Moving on to announcements, 2 LucasArts point-and-click titles are getting fan-powered HD remakes, the first being Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, and the second Day of the Tentacle, but no release date has been given for either just yet. To end this section, Ucast Games have also released a trailer for a new shoot-'em-up called The Ghost Blade for the Dreamcast, and will become available to buy in 2015. 6 fan translations this month, half of them NES titles: Digital Devil Monogatari, Megami Tensei, Labours of the Divine Hero, The Glory of Heracles, and Langridge Point. The other 3 are the MSX2 RPG Zax, The Tower of Gazelle, Alcahest on the SNES, and Kiniku Maroko Oni on the Game Boy. That's all for this episode then, but please do let me know if there's anything I missed, and thanks for watching.
Get back to your area!